Look, I heard it all the time. I still hear it even today. Movie theaters are dead. Movie theaters won't survive COVID. Theaters won't make it. I've worked in the movie theater industry for over a decade now, and even I used to share the same sentiment back during the pandemic. It's no surprise COVID-19 wreaked havoc on everyone and everything. But few industries have suffered as much as movie theaters. But somehow, some way, the industry is bouncing back, and it's exciting to see. Prior to the pandemic, though cinemas were already facing challenges, given the rise of streaming giants such as Netflix and Amazon Prime, they were still the very popular and the go-to choice, especially during the holiday season. Seriously, we are insanely busy on holidays, and every goddamn Christmas there's the same guy who asks, "What's an elf's favorite kind of music?" It's rap. You're not funny, Tom. However, the situation was manageable. Cinema chains found ways to differentiate themselves from streaming services. At the beginning of the 2010s, we began to see bars and lounges become more commonplace, because who doesn't like slamming a few shots before watching the new Paw Patrol movie? Public events like movie marathons and UFC fights, a massive increase in food offerings, and we even began to see the rise of subscription programs like MoviePass and AMC Stubs, which are subscription services that offered free movies each month. But when the pandemic hit, the industry was forced to shut down entirely.
Signed and adapted down and admissions every one of us outside.
With no revenue coming in and mounting expenses, several cinema chains were on the brink of bankruptcy, including major chains like Regal and AMC. To make matters worse, studios began to delay release of highly anticipated films such as Wonder Woman 1984 and Black Widow, as they realized reduced capacity of open theaters would result in much lower returns. This lack of new releases further damaged cinemas as they struggled to attract audiences to their limited movie offerings. And when I say limited, I mean very limited. Most movie theater chains would have severely reduced hours, some not even opening up until 2 or 3 p.m., much later in the day than they usually would be. In response, theaters were forced to take significant cost-cutting measures, including laying off workers, furloughing staff, and reducing overall operating hours. As a movie theater manager myself, I even saw traditional positions being removed completely, like ticket takers and box office personnel. Though food quality for theaters was never very high in the first place, it got progressively worse once the effects of COVID took hold. Chicken tenders became chicken fritters, which is a piece of chicken much smaller and is made of mostly fillers. Pizza became smaller and tasted like overcooked pizza Lunchable. And many of the more fancier options like frozen yogurt and breakfast items disappeared. However, as the situation persisted, some theater chains began experimenting with alternative revenue streams. This included renting out screens for private events, selling food and beverages for curbside pickup, and collaborating with studios to offer virtual screenings. While these measures helped keep some theaters afloat, it was not nearly enough to achieve pre-pandemic levels. That was until our favorite neighborhood hero decided to drop a hit.
There. Oh, Jesus!
Wait, not that one. At the end of 2021, Sony and Marvel released Spider-Man: No Way Home, and to everyone's surprise, it took the world by storm. Critics loved it and moviegoers adored it. Opened to a downright stunning $260 million domestically. It made it the second largest domestic opening of all time, right behind Avengers Endgame, which was a pre-COVID film, keep in mind. This movie was so big that after it initially left theaters, it returned a month later with an extended version. I myself was working a lot of overtime at that time. It felt like everyone and their grandmother was coming to the theater to see the movie at least 3 or 4 times. For the first time, since before COVID, I saw people excited to be at the movies. People were clapping, cheering, conversing about their favorite heroes. It was the first time in a long time the industry felt alive. The fun didn't stop there, though. The following year, in 2022, we received another rise of an instant classic, a film that was originally set to release during the pandemic. A film that cost a whopping $170 million and starred one of the highest grossing actors of all time. I am talking about, of course, Top Gun Maverick. Everyone, and I mean everyone, from our wonderful veterans to young children, wanted to see Tom Cruise reach Mach speeds in a jet. Because, well, let's be honest, Tom is an insane old man. No, seriously, Tom is 61 years old. This dude right here, grandpa age, hanging on the side of airplanes. "2023 wasn't just a great year for video games. We saw incredible film releases like Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. But little did we know, the world was about to be exposed to one of the greatest marketing campaigns in recent film history. Barbenheimer. Both films were all over social media leading up to the release. Having $2 billion movies releasing the same week is not commonplace, but because of the vast differences in genres, it was possible. For the third year in a row, we saw large-scale audience numbers rushing to the theaters. However, customers this time were greeted with movie-themed items, specialty cocktails, large-scale advertisements in lobbies, and even special menu items. Something we haven't seen since before COVID. Honestly, it is truly a great time to be a moviegoer. For years, Marvel fans have been begging for a solo film starring the wonderful ScarJo as Black Widow. Just when we were about to have our wish granted, COVID hit and delayed the Black Widow film. However, Disney came up with another plan. Something we all weren't expecting. Disney decided to release Black Widow on Disney Plus the same day as the theatrical release. But instead of $11 to $15 ticket price, it was walled behind a $30 rental fee on top of the subscription price viewers were already paying. Man, nothing beats dropping $30 when inflation is at an all-time high. Because of Disney's impatience, Black Widow lost an estimated $600 million and was surrounded by controversy due to actor ScarJo successfully suing Disney for breach of contract. It was obvious that releasing Disney Plus would financially hurt the box office gross, something that was important considering her contract included royalties, a percentage of the film's profits. This proves that Hollywood needs movie theaters to survive. It's a symbiotic relationship. We need them just as much as they need us. And though I do consider streaming services to be a useful tool, it is not a valid replacement for movie theaters as a whole. On average, films cost nearly $100 million to make and market. That's not counting contracts that have royalties tied to them. Knowing this, making a profit on streaming service is not feasible for new big budget releases, and Hollywood knows this. The COVID-19 pandemic was almost as catastrophic as many thought it would be to the movie theater industry. Even the workers like myself, who have been part of the industry for over a decade, feared the worst, but we prevailed, thanks in part to the recent Hollywood releases. We are seeing small to medium-sized movie theater chains become profitable again, and I believe with a little bit more time, big chains like AMC and Regal will eventually get there too. Thanks for watching.